Hello world. So the NA Mazda Miata is widely known as the best budget track car, with the old saying, Miata is always the answer. But after all this time in 2019, is it still the best budget track car, or are there other cars that have taken over as the answer? Let's find out. No, this is not the Mazda Miata. It's a BMW E92 M3. And I love this car. V8 sound, 414 horsepower, and the clever suspension that makes it a comfortable car on the street and a great car at the track. But unless you're lucky like Lance Stroll, where daddy can buy you a Formula 1 team, you'll need a cheaper car to take all the abuse at the track. And that's why you need a Mazda Miata. So why is it still the best budget track car? First of all, it's still cheap. It is still the cheapest way to track your car. And tracking your car will probably be one of the most expensive things that you'll do in your life. Tires, brakes, engines, suspensions, these are all very expensive things. And for the Miata, these things are cheaper. I autocrossed this car for 3 years or so, and the only thing I spent money on were the tires and the brakes, and these things are usually cheaper too. For tires, the Miata usually has about $100 to about $200 per tire in tire costs, because it uses 14 to 15 inch tires compared to other track cars which usually use about 17 inch or 18 inch, sometimes even 19 inch tires, which costs about $200 to $500 per tire. These things add up and it can be very expensive. And the second reason is that it's common. Everything that you can think of and want to do to the car, it's been done. From turbos to superchargers to NA builds to V8 swaps, everything has been done, and there will be a lot of YouTube videos on how to do it, which is a huge help when you're not a mechanic or an engineer. And the third reason is its weight. If physics can be trusted, lightness makes everything better. It improves acceleration, braking, cornering speed, and fuel efficiency. And it achieves this while using less tires, less brakes, less everything, because it's lighter. So lightness really is one of the few things that you can do to a car that improves everything while having almost no negatives. And the Miata is one of the lightest cars at 2,100 pounds. And fourth and the last reason, it's a convertible. So now on to the reasons why it may not be the best budget track car anymore. First of all, it's quite an old car now. My Miata is a 1990 model, and that means it's almost 30 years old. Fortunately, I haven't had to change much because the previous owner took a very good care of the car, but in most cases you will need to replace a lot of parts, and as cheap as Miata parts are, replacing major car parts, it's always going to add up, and it's going to end up being a lot more expensive than you think. And the second reason is its safety. To me, this is the biggest issue of the Miata, because the safety features in this car is very modest. My Miata, because it's a Canadian version, doesn't even have a steering wheel airbag. There's no airbags at all, actually. So it's probably the least safe vehicle on the road next to a motorcycle. And if you want to track the car, you have to at least get a roll bar. And once you start putting in roll bars and cages into a car that's street driven, it's questionable in terms of safety in that regard too. Because imagine having a piece of a steel bar right behind your head without any helmet on. Even a light nudge could give you a steel bar to the back of the head. So it's not a safe solution in my mind. And this is definitely the biggest con or negative in terms of the track car, because most of us will still drive our track cars on the road. And the third reason is the alternatives that are available. It's 2019 and other cars have time to get cheaper and to get also more researched. So there are a lot more alternatives now compared to before. So starting with the front wheel drives, the Neon SRT4, the Honda Civics, the Cobalt SSs. These cars are all about 200 horsepower, relatively lightweight, and can be really fast in the hands of a great driver. Because we all have heard of that guy at a track day who passes all the 500 horsepower cars in his Honda Civic. In the rear wheel drive world, there are a lot of options. The Honda S2000, the Scion FRS, Nissan 350Z, E36 3 Series, Toyota MR2. Out of all these, FRS would be my pick just because it's new, meaning it's safer. It does have about 200 horsepower, which is almost double the Miata, and it doesn't require a roll bar because it's already a coupe. And the S2000 is a great car too, but still is a convertible. And 350Z, it's a little bit on the heavy side. And the E36, it's also a little bit on the heavy side. But all of these cars are great alternatives to the Miata. And from the team all-wheel drive, the Mitsubishi Evolution and the Subaru STI. Out of the two, I would say the Evo is my preference, just because I used to drive an Evo and they're just amazing. But the Subaru STI is also a great car. Both of these cars have amazing all-wheel drive technologies built into them. So they're gonna be a rocket ship at the track. And they really do make you look like a better driver than you really are, because all you have to do is turn the wheel and the car will just take the corner for you. So my top 3 budget track cars are FRS, Evo, and a Miata. If you have more flexible budget, then you have 2 choices. FRS if you want rear wheel drive oversteer, Evo if you want all wheel drive traction. But if you have really limited budget like me, then Miata is still your answer. It's light, it's cheap, and it has enough power. No, it doesn't. It has some power, enough for you to have fun at the track. What's your best track car? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time,